Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Lightyear, the 2022 movie. So, this movie is actually pretty good, despite it pretty much being a financial bomb at the box office. I was worried watching this movie because every time I watched a review on this movie, everybody's all like, oh, it sucks. Oh, it's not good as Toy Story. Oh, this. Oh, that. Tim Allen's not in it. Oh, it's woke and everything. And I'm just like, oh Lord, that group has gotten to this movie and stuff. But I do agree with a lot of other people that like is not what I expected, but it is a good movie nevertheless. Pretty much this is intended for like a younger audience, mostly like I guess you could say probably like teenagers and up, but mostly for people who grew up with the Toy Story movies. Now, I was always so that whole like, oh, this movie's terrible. They need to stop that crap because it's not a terrible movie. It's just not what everybody expected. It has a plot and everything. The plot could be stronger, sure, and everything, but it's still a good plot nevertheless. And the action is pretty cool. The design of it is really neat and everything. Like it has a more mature look than that of Toy Story. But going into this, a lot of people like myself was very confused. And that's because of the Toy Story movies and stuff. But then when you watch the trailer, you're even more confused. Now, I still think they needed a different villain than the one they gave us and stuff. That was kind of disappointing and even more confusion to that of like the Toy Story movie, well, the second one at least, and the Buzz Lightyear Star Command cartoon series that came out in 2000 and stuff. But other than that, I still think it was pretty cool, but it was a bit confusing at times and stuff. And so the movie stars Chris Evans this time as Buzz Lightyear and not Tim Allen. Now, this caused probably the main controversy of the entire movie, which caused a lot of people probably either not want to watch it or just lie and complain and stuff. Basically, Tim Allen was the voice of Buzz Lightyear for all the Toy Story movies, and they replaced him with Chris Evans. And at first, nobody knew why, but then people assume, oh, okay, this is a younger version of Buzz, which it technically is. So people are like, okay, well, they're gonna go with a younger voice actor. And to give him credit, Chris Evans does sound a bit like Tim Allen. Like when you hear his buzz, he sounds like a cross between Tim and ooh, what's that guy's name? The guy from the cartoon series who played the live action version of the Tick. Remember the Tick? Not the Amazon Tick, but the old Fox one from the 90s. Oh no, the 2000s. Paul Wahlberg or something like that. Anyway, he sounds like a cross between those two. And he pretty much did a good mimic. Like when you heard him do those classic Buzz Lightyear phrases, he sounded just like Tim. He just didn't have that strong Tim Allen type accent to his voice, but he sounded more like a watered down version and a younger version of it, which I was pleased, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't go in this sounding like his regular self. He literally tried to match the mannerisms in which Tim Allen's voice is. Now, as to the real reason as to why Tim's not in this movie, honestly, nobody really knows. It could be a number of different things. Maybe they wanted to go with a younger actor. Or maybe because this movie technically it is set in the Toy Story franchise universe, but it's not. Like I'll get into that a little bit later. Or it could just be because of some of the dumb stuff that Tim Allen says online. Like I remember years ago he pissed a bunch of people off, mostly women, and that's why his show got canceled. But then it got picked up by Fox and everything. And so like it could be because his conservative views and everything. That could be a reason. It might not. I don't think he's that vocal on social media. That pisses a lot of people off. Not like Kevin Sorbo or Scott Baio or that movie actress Buffy, or like what's James Wood. I don't think he's that level yet. You know what I'm saying? But every once in a while, he says something stupid that pisses a lot of people off. It sounds like he's like the recent thing he said about the whole pansexuality thing at Disney World. It sounded like a joke, but an insensitive one. But I think years ago, I can't remember what he said, but it was something about not being able to say what you want and people not being able to take a job. Oh, it was something. God, I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was something that pissed a lot of people off. I think it had to do something with the Me Too movement or something like that. And so, but for the most part, I never really see him say anything like rude. But then again, I don't follow him. But then if he was to say something really stupid and rude, it would trend online. You know what I'm saying? And so that could be a reason. 'Cause, Disney is trying to be more squeaky clean because they were very racist in the past and stuff. But I don't think they're holding that against him because ABC was the people who canceled his show because the show was on ABC. But ABC is also owned by Disney, and Disney, and after he got fired or the show got canceled, I should say. Even though it got canceled, Disney still brought him back for Toy Story 4. So it's not like they're holding a grudge. And I heard they're supposed to be making more of his Santa Claus movies. So that can't be a reason why. Because if they're willing to still work with him and other stuff, and also bring him back as the adult toy version of Buzz, then it can't be the reason. So who really knows what the reason is? But yeah, it was strange not hearing his voice. But like I said before, Chris Allen did do a good job. And Patricia Heaton needs to just shut her mouth. I don't know what the word. I've always heard rumblings about her. And then there are things about her husband that's really nasty. So like, oh God. But one of those rumblings I heard about her, I'm just like, that could be a deal breaker to where she could be like a Kevin Sorbo type. But for the most part, she's never ran off the mouth online. Except for the whole birth control thing. But that was a long time ago. And I kind of agree with her, the whole birth control thing and stuff. And it's just like, but if condoms are free in a box, then hey, why not like birth control? So yeah, that does make sense and everything. But yeah, she went off the wall about that. But whatchamacallem, her talking about they chastised the character because they didn't put like her best friend Tim Allen in there, blah blah blah. It's like she's getting there. Don't forget, she's gonna get there in the future, but she ain't got there yet because she's still trying to hold on to her career. But her career is slowly diminishing, so she'll get there at some point to where she'll start sounding like a crazy person and stuff online. But she ain't got there quite yet. And when she does, then those rumblings are going to be really true and everything that I've heard about her. Anyways, so this is the part that confuses people when it comes to the movie. Is it a younger version of Buzz? Like, what exactly is going on? I think it's all in the same universe, but I think it's a different continuity. See, here's the thing. Everything is in the realm of that of Toy Story. So every time you see like a different property, like the video games, it's just a spin-off of what the cartoons, the toys have made. See, Buzz Lightyear was never a real life person in the Toy Story world. He was just a character on TV and movies and stuff like that. Now, back in 2000, like I said before, they established that there was a Buzz Lightyear cartoon made off of like a movie and stuff. And we see all the toys watching it. And this was Buzz Lightyear Star Command. And, so this is a fictional interpretation of Buzz already in a fictional, other interpretation in a fictional world, if that makes sense. And so in the cartoon series, he's voiced by Paul, I think his name is Wahlberg or something like that. And his voice sounds nothing like Tim Allen. So I don't know why people are complaining about Chris Evans and Paul's doesn't sound nothing like it. So anyway, so this is the thing that really confused me. When they made this movie, I assumed they was gonna base it off of the cartoon series and bring characters in from that. It would have made a whole lot of sense, but they didn't do that for some bizarre reason. And so originally, I forget the history of this show, but originally, I think they made like a TV movie direct to DVD type thing, right? For the cartoon series. And originally, Tim was the voice of that. But for whatever reason, they had to replace him with a friend of his named Paul, the other actor dude. Oh, he's also Joe Swanson on Family Guy. And so he had to redub all the lines and everything. And no, wait, no. First, I think Paul came in, did it, then they redid it with Tim, and then they for the movie or whatever. But then for the TV series, they decided to go back with Paul or whatever. And I forget the reasons why. Maybe Tim was busy at that time or something like that. I think he was making movies and stuff. And so, because yeah, in around the 2000s, he was making a couple of movies. And so they made this cartoon series. They lasted for one season. I don't remember watching it, to tell you the truth. But I remember waking up early in the morning, probably getting ready for high school or college or something. And I saw this on the syndicated channel, and I'm like, oh, they made a Buzz Lightyear cartoon and stuff. That don't sound like Buzz. So I've never really watched an entire episode, just like clips as I'm getting ready for school. And they changed the voice of Zurg in the cartoon because in the movies, he's not a real voice actor. He's actually a person who makes movies. But his voice was so iconic, they should have brought him for the cartoon. And so this is why this Buzz was like revoiced, because it's like a cartoon within like a universe and stuff like that, right? Now, here's the interesting thing about this movie. The Lightyear movie, as said in the beginning of the movie, there was a boy named Andy, and he watched one of the greatest movies of all time with one of the greatest heroes of all time, and that's what inspired the toy. See, this movie we're watching is technically the same movie Andy watched. So of course that's why they probably brought in a different voice actor and why his personality is different. Because you know with toys, they always stream, or back in the old days, nowadays, for certain toys, depending on what it is, if it's a collectible, they try to make it as detailed as possible to whatever it is you're watching on TV. But back in those old days, they'll streamline a toy and just make it like as goofy and silly and bright and colorful as they could. That's what kids like, bright, colorful stuff. And so that's why the movie version looks slightly more tweaked and more mature than that of the toy one from Toy Story. Because the one from Toy Story is basically just a toy that's based off of this movie and stuff. And so, but when it comes to this movie, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, yeah, why would Andy like Buzz? Because there's a couple of things in here. Because there are things in Toy Story that makes Buzz a cool character. And in this, he's just a grumpy butt person, type person. Maybe there was more sequels, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But who knows? So the plot of the movie is like this. Buzz Lightyear and some other space ranger people, they're like, you know, in space and they on this planet where they crash landed and they can't take off. They're stranded there. There are alien, like, plant creatures that's always getting them. Now, before I go any further, a lot of people keep talking about, oh, this movie is not funny as Toy Story, and there's no humor. There's humor all throughout the movie. It's just more serious, tongue-in-cheek humor as opposed to kitty baby humor from that of Toy Story. Toy Story is literally intended for kids and everything. And this movie is not. So, but there's humor in it. And you will laugh. It's not the same as Toy Story humor. And so that's probably what pissed a lot of people off because they wasn't expecting that. They're probably expecting Toy Story type humor. But anyway, so they're on the planet, they're marooned there, and Buzz decided, okay, we gotta get back to Star Command and tell them what happened and so they can help us. So they come up with this type of fuel that can go get him back home. Because there's something in the space atmosphere that's causing no planes to go past it. I forget what it is. I think it's like a gravity well or something like that. That it keeps putting them back on the planet. So they get this hyperdrive type fuel, and he goes. And when he does it, he heads on back to the planet, and it turns out that about 4 years had passed, and he was unable to complete his mission. So he feels like a failure because instead, when he went through the vortex type thing, the gravity well, it sent him through time and not exactly where he needed to be. So he keeps trying again and again and again and again and over because he's very determined to save his people and everything. He keeps making calculations to like the fuel and stuff. And as he come back, we see a montage of his best friend. She's getting older. She's getting older. She gets a wife. This caused a lot of controversy, especially the lesbian kiss, and so that pissed a lot of countries off and everything. And they banned the movie and everything. And so like whatever with those countries, you know what I'm saying? And um so he keeps trying over and over till his best friend has now become super old. And then it's to the point where his best friend dies and everything. And there's a statue made in her honor. And now they have shut off the program, the mission, so he can never do that again. They're just gonna live on that planet and be what may. So they create like a laser force field and stuff, a little dome where they can live in and get away from like the aliens and the new threat that's plaguing the earth. Well, him being so determined and everything, he still wants to try one more time. Now they give him a robotic cat. I forget the cat's name. And at first I thought this cat was gonna be so stupid and I was gonna hate it, but I ended up loving it. And especially when it scans, so it's like meow 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 meow. Or it's like meow 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 meow. It's like that. And it's really smart and it's really funny. And it has like poison darts that can like put you to sleep. So they're gonna recommission the little cat thing, but he saves it and everything. And so the cat has finally found the fuel, which it thinks can get back to Star Command and go back through time and all this other crap. So with the fuel, he goes through again and nope, still don't work. But he is able to time travel at some point with the fuel. Like it works, but it doesn't work specifically. I think it's off or something like that. Now, all of a sudden, Zurg has come to the planet and trying to take it over. And with that, he's trying to fight off the robots. He doesn't understand what's going on. He assumes he went back in time, see, but he sees the laser dome force field up, so he knew he failed, and now he's further in time. I think about 40 something years has passed. I forget how much exactly. And now his best friend has a granddaughter, voiced by Keke Palmer. And I like Kiki in this role. It's something different for her. Cause every live action role she's in, she acts the same and she talks the same. It's almost like she's typecast. So I like this version. Her granddaughter idolizes her mom. She wants to be a space ranger like her grandmother. Not mom, but grandmother. And she's just this dopey, nice little teenage girl who wants to strive to be bigger than what she is and stuff. And she's with the ragtime group of people. Is it ragtime or ragtag? Ragtag type of people. And like there's this guy, there's this older lady. I think there might be somebody else. I can't remember. It might not, may not, I don't know. But the older lady is very sarcastic, is on house arrest, and the guy is just dopey and stupid. And so I like how diverse this entire movie is, because in Toy Story, it's not diverse whatsoever. Neither is the cast. So that's great that they're having some representation in this movie. And of course, that pissed people off too. Because, oh no, you can't have representation in a movie and everything. Everything gotta be white. And stuff like that. And so basically, I don't know how these people got outside the dome, because you think the people inside would have brought them back in, but they're trying to fight off the robots and everything and stuff like that. Even though they're not trained, they're not even space rangers and stuff. And so Buzz's mission is like, all right, I'm going to put y'all back in like a safe spot, and then I'm going to try this again. But that doesn't happen. Zurg and the robots kind of stop him and everything. And we don't really get to see Zurg that much. And so it turns out, he needs their help and all this other stuff because they're gonna get captured and this and other stuff. So in a way, Zurg robots and them were constantly fighting throughout the movie. He gets taken on the ship. I think the fuel gets stolen, so he tries to get it back. And so in a way, he's about to fight Zurg and everything. But then when he does, Zurg de-helmets himself. And it turns out it's an older version of Buzz Lightyear, which is completely breaking the continuity of the second movie when Zurg is supposed to be his father. Now, I don't know what Zurg role is in the cartoon series because I've never seen it. But, if the toy lines and the video games are based off of this, they didn't want to make their hero the villain. So, of course, they did the whole Star Wars thing of, Buzz, I am your father type thing. And so, anyways, it turns out this is the part that's very confusing. At some point in time, older Buzz, when he was younger, he went through the gravity well vortex thing. But it sent him hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years into the future. And he found this giant spaceship with all this alien technology. And the Zurg costume was already there. So he decides to put it on and all this other stuff. So there is a real Zurg out there, but for whatever reason, he didn't put he's gone. I guess he's dead or something. And the robots are still there. So, they do his bidding and stuff. For whatever reason, he has turned evil now. And so, he wants the fuel because he wants to go back in time and rewrite everything. Noble. But our Buzz tells him if you do that, then his best friend's granddaughter will never be born. And so will a bunch of other people never be born. And their lives are going to be taken away. And old Buzz is like, who cares? And everything. They probably wasn't even supposed to exist anyway. So this causes conflict between those two. But old Buzz is literally evil. Why is he evil? Still don't know exactly, but he's evil and stuff. So he constantly fights his younger self and everything. And so basically, long story short, the good Buzz ends up saving the day with the ragtime group. Now the ragtime group, they are now given Space Ranger suits to help fight the robots and stuff at this point in time. And throughout this whole movie, we see things we see a big bulky laser blaster on the forearm that's supposed to represent the smoother version in the toy. We finally get to see the jetpack thing only briefly and stuff. And so anyway, evil Buzz is defeated and they head back to Earth. And so the commander dude comes out and they decided, you know what? We're going to reinstate your career because at first he was a fugitive, but now they reinstated his career. He decided he's going to live on the planet and just protect it and everything. And he wants a group of people to help him. So he picks the ragtime people to help him. And they're all given new space suits. And now the Buzz Lightyear suit that everybody knows and loves from Toy Story has now made it into this movie. The other version we saw was more detailed and more realistic. This one was more streamlined and everything to look more like the toy. And now the little laser blaster thing looks exactly the way it does in Toy Story. So that big bulky thing on his hand and all this other stuff. And so it basically ends. And then in the credits, we see Zurg or Evil Buzz has lived. See, what happened was he shot him off into space and everybody assumed he got caught in the explosion and he froze to death, but he's alive and everything. So they probably won't make a sequel because the movie didn't make its money back. It's a good movie. It's just not what people expected. I would never went with this plot. I would have went with something a little bit more different and more heroic and everything. Probably similar to that of the cartoon series. But all in all, like I said before, it's a good movie.
Now, what I don't understand is how is there two Buzz Lightyears coexisting in the same timeline? Because older Buzz said he went far into the future, then he went back in time. All right. So he said he tells younger Buzz that, This was like, you know, a time where you didn't make it back and you didn't go to the future and all this other stuff. So I guess they did the whole, okay, if you change time or whatever, it creates like a different universe or whatever. And I hate that. I hate this whole multiverse explanation of like MCU crap. I miss the old parallel universe like theories and stuff like that. Not if time travel does it. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.